What's next for the new Ram truck? Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Rob Motive FST. So what's new for my new Ram truck? Well, there's a couple of things. You may notice something is missing off the back here. It was the Lone Star badge. And then walking around to take a quick look at the front, I had changed out the letters up here. I went from chrome to black, and I'm talking about the Ram letters right across the front. Well, I've decided that I'm going to change both of those. Now, I do have some tow hooks coming. We're going to do something with the color for those as well. But let me show you what's next for the Ram truck. Okay, we're in the garage here, a little bit warmer. You may notice I'm wearing a pretty heavy coat, another coat, a shirt, an undershirt. It's 56 degrees in here, even colder outside. But I've got some stuff laid down on the workbench here. Let me show you what it is I'm doing. First of all, I had mentioned the Lone Star badge. I had taken it off, of course, and then I took the colors out from around the Texas state symbol here. They just come off via some plastic welds on the back. You kind of Dremel through the welds and those pieces come right off. Now, the reason I did that is because I'm going to paint this whole thing black. And then I'm going to put the little colored parts back in here. And I think that should look pretty cool. I'm looking for something rather subtle on the back. So I had thought about painting this red, but I thought that would be too much. So it's going to be black with the colors back inside. Now, over here, I've ordered some new. Yeah, this is my second set of Ram letters. We've got all of them here. And I'm going to go ahead and sand these down. We're going to prep them today so that I can get them ready to paint. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do the same thing on the badge, you want the paint to be able to stick. So I'm going to kind of rough them up a little bit, but not too much, hopefully, so that you actually get grooves in the plastic, because that will show up after you paint. So what I'm using is a red Scotch-Brite. Why they call it red, I don't know. I call this purple, but I guess it's red. So all you do, it's very simple. Let's go ahead and get a letter out of here. Hermetically sealed for your protection. There we go. And by the way, if you didn't know, these just snap in the back. On the ones that come on the truck, there is some glue in here or some double-sided tape. I will put that on when I reinstall these, but you can see how they just snap in, and then there's locator pins so that you really can't screw it up. I like that. But we're just gonna rough these up a little in the form of sanding them. It won't look too pretty on brand new letters, but that's okay because I'm gonna paint it, as I said, anyway. So you just go over each one, kind of like this, just kind of buffing it, roughing it, whatever. And I don't know if you'll be able to see, maybe the light will catch it, but the little scratches that it's putting in the surface, that's what you want so that the paint has something to adhere to. Otherwise, it's just gonna fall right off. So I'm gonna do the same thing to each one of these. And then when I get done, I'll come back, I'll show you the rest of the process and the paint color that I'm gonna use. All right, we're all sanded off. Again, you want to make sure that you use particularly something very fine in grit, like those red Scotch-Brite pads. I've actually tried using just a fine grit sandpaper before, and the grooves that it left were too deep. You could actually see them through the paint, even though I had a few layers of different things on there. So let's take a look. You can see, hopefully, that the letters are now dolled up. I don't know if you'll be able to see the scratches. Maybe you can. They're very fine. And again, it's just to give something for the paint to kind of grab onto. I did the same thing with the Lone Star badge. You might be able to see the scratches in this, maybe a little bit better, you know, like on the star in the state there. But next up, of course, you want to clean these all off with rubbing alcohol to make sure you get any of the fine grit that's still on there. And I'm sure there is. I don't know if you can see it on my thumb, but a lot of the black came off on my hands. I wiped a lot of it off, but it did come off of the letters and stuff itself, as well as the chrome parts. So next up for these is going to be the painting. I'll show you what I'm going to do there. First of all, we're going to use just a regular primer. I'll put that on first. I'll probably put, I don't know, 3 or 4 coats of primer, something like that on, just to make sure that I have a base, if you will. And then we're going to use this color. It's going to be Regal Red. And the reason I chose this is because that's what I used for the Ram logo on the back or on the tailgate. So I want the front to match. This is going to kind of tie the whole truck together, if you will. So what's going to be red is going to be, or are going to be, the letters, the Ram letters. They're going to be red, and then this will just be like a gloss black. So after that, then you want to do some sort of a clear coat. I do have clear coat. We'll be putting a few coats of this on. That's really just to protect the finish so that anything that hits these won't chip the paint off. Hopefully the clear coat will protect them. And of course, the Ram letters are going to be on the front, right on the grill. So you know that anything that comes through is going to smack the front of the grill, like the Toyota letters here on my Tacoma. Anything that hits the front is going to hit this, bugs and stuff and whatever. So I want to make sure that this is protected. After that, I'll let them dry for probably about a week. Typically, I take them inside, much to my wife's dismay, and set them somewhere so that they can dry. The thing I like about these paints, or today's paints, they don't have a lot of smell or a lot of odor, so it won't stink up the whole house. After that, then it's just a matter of applying some double-sided tape on the back for the Lone Star badge anyway, because that's just held on by double-sided tape. That's pretty simple. And then these, as I mentioned before, do have the tabs that kind of snap in. So I'll be able to do that. There will be some double-sided tape on the back of this as well, just to give a little bit more protection and honestly to cut down on any kind of rattling, because they don't fit so tight that they can't move a little bit when they're in there. So you actually could get a little bit of rattling in the front if you don't put some sort of double-sided tape to kind of hold these down a little bit. Doesn't take much, just a little bit. It's pretty easy to do. Now, I also mentioned that I do have some tow hooks coming. They're going to go in the front where now, of course, I have nothing. Those are coming in red, so I'll have to do the same process. The red that they're coming in does not match the red that I'm going to be using on the letters, and I want everything to match in the front to kind of tie it all together. You know, I don't want 2 different shades of red, and I want everything to match the Ram logo on the back. Anyway, that's what's up next for my new Ram truck. Should be a pretty cool project. Painting is pretty simple. You just take your time, light coats. That's the key. How do I know? I've made plenty of mistakes in the past. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Good project? Something you'd consider doing? Or not so much? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, if you haven't yet, make sure you smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about my 2021 Toyota Tacoma, and Rob Motive JT, all about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Check those out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.